I want to thank everybody for taking the time today to join us as we run through these 10 reasons EHS for digitizing your processes. My name is Andy Ethridge. I am a customer alignment manager here at Safety IQ, and we're going to take today to discuss these topics. And okay, the way this is going to lay out, we're going to run through the reasons, and then at that time, we'll kind of look at the application of an EHS software problem as it applies, or platform as it applies to those reasons. We'll discuss some real life scenarios of how that can be put into action in the field or your facilities. And at the end, we'll leave some time for any questions or discussions that may come up. So go ahead and let's move forward. Let's jump right into this real quick. I just want to say, to start things off, one of the biggest things that I hear every day is, and one of the most dangerous things that you can hear in business and in safety is, hey, we are doing it that way because that is the way that we have always done it, or it's been done that way forever. That is the biggest obstacle. You get complacency in a program. People are very kind of resistance to pick up technology and go with it. Older generations are often scared by it, but these are the same generations that are, moving on and scrolling Facebook every single night. So organizations that I work with, and when you get software into place, it actually forms a foundation for you to really expand and develop a more comprehensive safety program, brings value to your business and allows you to compete, especially in construction, with other industries, really kind of spotlighting your safety program among your competitors. So risks, and we're going to run through these risks. We're going to highlight the possible areas for improvement that we find in safety programs throughout the safety management systems. So let's just jump right into this first one here. Time consuming. Of course, we all need more time in the day. So conducting safety audits or inspections, you can get very bogged down in the details at the front end level of a safety inspection, gathering more information that you need, and then that can bog you down on the back end when you're back at your desk trying to sort through this data. So the idea here is to kind of bring the front end of a safety program and the back end into harmony and allow you to capture accurate information up front while also having a reasonable means of analyzing that data on the back end. Lack of insights. Number one thing that we see, if working within a paper program or off of clipboards or spreadsheets, other digital formats, you become data rich but insight poor. So what that means is you've got the information, you're doing the work, you've got everyone involved, but at the end of the day, you're sitting down and wondering, what do you have here? What do you do with it? Gives you a chance to get a little more insight. Lack of collaboration. This is just individual teams doing their own things. Sometimes teams succeed, different facilities, organizations, one may be doing one thing, one may be doing another. From an overall perspective on the program, we're really you're unable to capture that bird's eye view of an entire organization. What's success in one area versus worst failures in another. Slow and infrequent inspections. Oftentimes, the biggest thing is you can spend 30 questions, 30 minutes, 3 hours on an audit, but sometimes you're missing what's key and what you need to do. You need to be able to get through a quick kind of bird's eye view, quickly, a shot of if you're doing a fire equipment inspection, take that QR code, zap it, move on to the next one. Lack of safety observations. Number one, the thing that we see here is just inability for individuals to participate. Everyone wants to become involved in a safety program, but they oftentimes don't have the tools to do so. The more sets of eyes that you have in a facility, an organization, the better off you are. With a digital solution, we're able to capture all those eyes, bring it together, and turn it into actionable items. Error prone. This is a big one. It's from simple errors like location, date, time that can be lost to critical errors. Like what equipment was failing. If you're doing inspections on very dangerous pieces of equipment and you identify one equipment that's in failure and we identify that incorrectly, a work order goes in and they go to find that piece of equipment when in fact it's not that. Software eliminates those errors. Lack of organized training records. Training is key for any safety program. Most people are doing that training. They're getting the effective training, but the difficult things comes on the back end. It's figuring out where are people with their training, who has what training, what proof of that training do we have, and how accessible is this? People struggle. Failure to close the loop. This is number one. Who has the ball? It's crucial in any safety program. We can identify problems, but if you do not know who is in charge of fixing that problem, then we can't move forward with it. And oftentimes what we find is people, they use the copy on an email and put 10 people on an email. When 10 people get an email, who knows who's really supposed to act on it? So you have that inability to see who has the ball and how do we move it forward. Lack of centralized data. You have all of your information, you have multiple spreadsheets, multiple clipboards, it's all stacking up. I talk with safety managers all the time. I say, where is your data? And they pan the camera over and we see a stack of files to the side of them. Where is it? It's centralized, but it needs to be accessible and in one place for different regions to access. Complex reporting. This is where safety managers spend a lot of their time when you have an inefficient data collection process on the front end. So you're gathering everything, but data about a safety manager oftentimes is not a Power BI professional. They can't run through different analytics, and they spend a lot of time making reports, especially when it comes to OSHA regulations and OSHA reporting. How can it help? This is what we'll run through, kind of match some options that we have proportionate to with the problems that we've identified in this first section and match those to possible solutions. Configure to your organization. This is where I like to jump in. Safety professionals know what they're doing typically. They know what they're looking for. They've been in the field. They need a tool to tell people what to look for, where to look, and what to do when they find it. So we don't try and reinvent the wheel here. We simply take what you're doing, digitize it through an audit or inspection process, leave some flexibility. It doesn't have to be our application. Any application that allows you to have that flexibility when digitizing what you're looking for in the field. Streamlined audits and inspections. This comes into play more with when it is completed, where does it go? What actions come from this? It becomes who sees this and who's got the, once again, we'll come back to the phrase, who's got the ball with this? We can develop digital workflows that match your typical workflows of how things report up the line to management and to also to work and people that can fix work orders and apply and fix problems out there. Hours employees, this is number one. If you put a digital program in the hands of your employees, you involve everyone. You give them the power to become involved and develop that culture of safety and get everyone on the same page. Centralized database, this is coming back. Everything's going into one place. Problems, inefficiencies, training records, everything is in one place and can be segregated or aggregated out by the different mechanisms for kind of getting this out, getting solutions in place. Timely and accurate reporting. This information is crucial. So if you're out in the field and you're doing an inspection, or really on more on the incident side, something occurs in the field, you need to know in real time what happened, where it happened, who's involved, and what do we do next. Everyone is in today's age, you pick up your phone, you call someone, you send a text. This brings everything into one centralized place where that data resides and you can report accurately to who needs to see this particularly. Identify and resolve trends. This is when we get into more of the analysis of what you're finding, and we're taking the insights that you're gaining through your digital solution and figuring out how do we change things? How do we make an impact? And this can occur because you're able to boil everything down, kind of boil the ocean, so to speak. You've got all this out there, and then you're able to kind of work towards a solution and see where do I need to put my time? Where do I need to put my focus? Perhaps you've been putting it in the wrong area for the long time, and you can really figure out how to pivot and make changes within your program. continuous safety improvement. This is where you are able to take this data and in a central location, bring this back to a safety committee, a safety team, and figure out how can everyone look at this. We have customers that really, once you have all a tool in the hands of everyone and we get it out there, we can take pictures, analyze, go through these hazard identifications, and then pull this up. As the safety committee gets together, look at where the problems are and involve everyone towards the solutions. Anywhere, anytime. This is, I like to say, software never sleeps. This is, you have a tool in the hands. Facilities and industries, they're running 24 hours a day. 3 shifts running, you have construction projects lasting all night. A safety manager needs to know what went on the night before and what are they walking into today. With a mobile solution, you're able to capture that as it happens and be prepared to make decisions accordingly throughout your work experience. So let's talk a little bit about, we've kind of ran through those pretty quick, and now I want to kind of back up here and let's talk about into action and really real life scenario of what we've seen. This is coming from a company. They're a little mix of everything. Some manufacturing, some custom work, some field work. And what they had was they came to us and they said, we want to involve everyone in the safety program. We want an observation done daily at each facility. Well, what happened, or what came here is they needed a mechanism for doing that because the numbers got so high and so quickly. If you have a 30-man facility and they're doing one observation every day, you can do the math. You've got hundreds stacking on top of each other. And what do you do with these? A digital tool was absolutely crucial to take this information and look at it and figure out where do we go with it. So this is the Palfinger story. Palfinger came to us with that same problem. What we did is we initiated simple safety observations throughout everyone in their facility to have access to the program where they could, what they called see safety. And it is literally putting eyes on things, capturing through your mobile application. Is there inefficiencies? Is there things going right that we need to replicate? Getting all of these piled back into and brought back to the manager so that she can make decisions accordingly. This was a long process. The aspirations were great. Then we knew that we were going to need a digital tool to do this. And the effects of it kind of took a long time. Over the course, and we didn't really see the financial aspects of it until year 2 and 3, when we really we started to see the reduction in those insurance premiums, because the insurance companies were looking back on the performance for the previous year when developing their rates for the following year. And after about year 2 of using this program, we really saw a significant impact in reducing those insurance premiums, really kind of bringing back a cost justification for investing in something like this. So this kind of, to bring this all back, and if you will, just allow me kind of a personal insight here. These are numbers put up by our marketing team. Honestly, they're fairly accurate. Things go wrong all the time. But from a personal level, I'll tell you real quick. I started this job in 2017. And in 2016, I was working for CSX Transportation. I was a conductor on the railroad. We had a train that we ran every night, and it was the Q210 out of Atlanta into Columbia. We traveled on this train and we put auto racks, huge train cars put into different sections. And we were constantly operating a single switch on the main line. And through the course of your work, you would actually switch from mainline travel to non-mainline travel multiple times, 3 o'clock in the morning in the rain and the snow. And the process for this, when you were done, to identify management, everyone else, that your work was done and you could allow for those trains to continue passing, there was a process they had been doing for, to relate back to where we started, for dozens and dozens of years. And it was a simple radio transmission. And to identify that your work was done, other trains could continue through this location, You radioed into the train master to identify, hey, this train is this lock has been set back for mainline travel. This is signed on by the engineer, the conductor, and relayed to the overall inspector or the dispatcher who was cities away. Well, this is the work I did. Move forward a few more months later. I'm working in this environment. I get a call at 3 a.m. Hey, turn on the TV. See what's going on. Those guys down in Casey had an accident. And this is personal because what I saw was someone in the course of their work had done their job at the end of their day. They've followed the safety procedures that have been in place for decades. But when they got to the end of their shift and the dispatcher wanted to know, hey, is this mainline set for mainline travel on the, and they did what they'd always done. They went to the procedure list. Yes, it has. Engineers looked, conductors looked, good to go. That audio transmission went back through and they said, good to go. Well, an Amtrak train had been waiting there for an hour to finish the work. It went through 60 miles an hour, went onto the wrong track, killed the 2 employees of the train. 2 CSX employees were devastated. It was on their hands. And I thought to myself, I was in my role, if we had technology to prevent something like this, what if rather than the audio communication that had been done for years and years, what if it was very simple? What if those employees, before that train could pass, could pull out a phone, take a picture of that switch, send it to their proper management, identify that it was in the correct position, they sign off, trains continue to move. They may still be here today. So I see the technology and I see the impact of the technology. And it's very personal to me. So sorry, went a little long on that story, but just to kind of bring that all back. Let's pause here and take some questions. Any more? No? Anything today? We're going to take this and wrap this up. These 10 reasons will be available for you to access, and things come up. Is there questions?
One's not popping up here, but we have gotten one about how do you empower the workforce with this digital solution? Is this something that's coming top down? Does it allow people bottom up? That's one that we've gotten a lot about this.
The idea to empower the workforce is you've got a tool in place for when someone sees something, take a picture of it, develop an actionable item from it, report that, put it into a corrective action list, and then act accordingly. So that person does have access. Each employee has another set of eyes on the field. They can make that safety observation and get responses accordingly.
Question for any others?
Any other questions out there? Any comments?
Oh, we got someone raising there. Marie, can you chat it in the Q&A? Second.
Just drop those questions into the chat. If you've got anything, Marie. Marie, you've got my information at my email. I'm going to send this out to everyone. I'd love to get your question, but if we're not able to connect. Is this an all-in-one solution? Is it tailorable? Okay, this is an all-in-one solution for safety management. This primarily is focusing on what we like to refer to as the big 3: audits, observations, and incidents. the solution can be expanded to accomplish many more things, like working towards fatigue management, and different training aspects that we're working on. Is it tailorable? System's tailorable. Like I kind of talked to a little bit, you know what you're looking for as a safety manager, what you're trying to identify, the questions that you're wanting to look at. You can take your audit or inspections you've been using and put those into the system as needed. We can be simple yes or no's. They can be drop-down menus. We can look for severity of incidents. So there's a lot of ability to kind of adjust with that. Any other questions? Sorry, driving. How can I'll be glad to set you up with a demo. Marie, I'm going to send, you'll have this ebook, which all of this is based off of Questions Rise, but I will reach out and we will definitely set up a time to talk. Any other questions or? All right. Thanks, Marie. Be safe out there. Okay. All right, guys, we'll wrap this up. This will be available. And to send out, we'll also send the accompanying ebook. Any questions, I'll have my contact information there. I'd love to talk with you. Ready? Good. Oh, we've got
Another question.
We have a question. Any other questions? Okay, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
I'll chat it in.
We do. We actually, a lot of times you've worked, you got a lot of files. We do work with you. The question is that she has a lot of data out there within her safety programs. We do historical input. We can kind of get you started and import some historical data for you to get that process started, definitely. A simple import-export tool is available. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. We can dive in this one more, get you a demo on the program, talk a little more about it. Love to do so. Just drop me an email, give me a call. If not, I really appreciate your time today, and tune in for the next one.